People are talking about JK and Jimin's recent airport appearance, as well as JK's tattoo artist talking about what's going on with JK, and people presuming that there might be an Are You Sure Season 2. Say Dumplings, is Dave Disci. Let's get into it. The community was overjoyed that Jimin and JK decided to do a live stream together after they came back from the military. This was not completely strange because some of the members did it as well, like V and RM hopping on a stream and talking about their experience from the military and all that stuff. But we are just talking about Jimin and JK here today, and their live stream was definitely very interesting. They went into detail about their experience in the military. This really showcased their relationship with each other and how they use each other as part of their support system. So apparently when they both enlisted together during the first few months, maybe Jimin was extremely worried about all of this, and JK had to be the one to remind Jimin that the time will pass really fast and everything will go back to normal as it once was. Now later on in the enlistment, as it continued to go on, JK ended up feeling a little less confident and was struggling a little bit more, and then would rely on Jimin. They wanted to address that their companionship with each other is what got them through the military. And of course they would have physically been able to get through it if it wasn't for each other, but having someone there for you makes the time go by easier. JK also talked about how awkward it was to be in front of the camera and talk and do this because they hadn't done this for a while. Of course, talking to the community isn't something that he was shy or probably felt awkward about, but likely simply just talking to a camera can be a little bit awkward. This was something that I struggled with too, as when I first started, as I'm obviously talking to you guys, but I am talking to a camera and then that footage then gets sent to you guys. So while ultimately my goal is to talk to you guys directly, right now I'm obviously in a room just talking to a camera, and I can see that being awkward to people because this is not a person, right? This is an inanimate object that can't respond, doesn't have a face, and I'm just talking. So I get that 100%. But the way he and both of them countered that experience was that they had each other, so if they felt awkward talking to the camera, they could just talk to each other, and that would be something that the community would still want to see anyway. But then during JK and Jimin's stream, they also talked about wanting to do a 10-part series talking about their experience. A lot of people were extremely excited to hear that because it doesn't matter what content we get from them, we just want more content from them. And of course, if they're talking about their experience and what they've learned, we would love a 10-part series. And a lot of people think that Are You Sure might be getting a season 2. Now, if you're unsure of what that show is, it is a reality show based off of just the two of them, and they got to show their life on vacation for a little bit together. The show is really cute, and I've reacted to some parts on Patreon, so if you're interested in that, as well as potentially the second season, the link is at the top of the description, so make sure you check that out. I would love to have you over there fangirling and just having a great time. The tiers are really affordable. It's priced at the lowest it can be, which is $1 a month, so if you're interested, make sure you check it out. But we're already getting a lot of insight into JK now that he's out of the military, and just a lot of really amazing things unfolding. Recently, his tattoo artist actually came out and addressed something, and this caused the post to go viral, as a lot of people believe that JK might even have a new tattoo. So JK was recently seen performing at J-Hope's last concert, and people believed that he had a chest tattoo. So naturally, a lot of people were even going to the tattoo artist's Instagram page or whatever to see if he had posted anything like that, to see what the tattoo was. But the artist definitely knows better than to post tattoo pictures before it's been officially released. However, they did put out a statement to talk about how JK used to be so insecure about his tattoos that he wouldn't wear short sleeve shirts. This is obviously a full 180 from what he does now, which is wear tank tops as well as t-shirts and even going shirtless. So he's definitely not insecure about his tattoos now. And a lot of people believe that it's because of this particular tattoo artist. If you go and look at some of the work that the artist had done, you'll see that a bunch of it was cover-up work. The tattoo artist covered up JK's eye tattoo as well as several other tattoos to make it appear more like something that JK might want. The tattoo artist also made it a lot more vibrant, and a lot of people were extremely happy that JK is no longer insecure about this. Now, of course, the artist knows a lot more about JK than the public does or you and I do, right? And the tattoo artist mentioned sort of needing to train JK to get used to sort of wearing t-shirts and getting used to wearing tank tops and that sort of stuff. There are many reasons why a K-pop idol might be insecure about his tattoos. A lot of K-pop idols getting tattoos is of course very controversial, so at the time this was going to be something that a lot of people were going to criticize him for and did. And I'll explain why I'm talking about this in a little bit. JK at the time also had a body that he might not have been comfortable with, which is why he was working out so much. And so there were a lot of reasons to why he might not have felt comfortable wearing a t-shirt. And you, of course, might be wondering, as I said, why I'm saying this and why I'm emphasizing this. Well, one of the reasons is because the original tattoo artist, whoever that person may be, was getting backlash online. Now, thankfully, this person, I don't think JK ever associated himself with publicly or ever gave credit or anything like that publicly. So I don't think that they were bashed personally. Like, people took their face and plastered it everywhere. Like, I don't think that happened. But whoever that person was is obviously being talked about online as people are saying whoever JK's old tattoo artist and saying that they're terrible, blah, blah, blah. And so they're being dragged through the mud right now. And we don't even fully know the full story of this. There could be multiple reasons why a tattoo just doesn't fit and can make someone uncomfortable. A lot of people also have issues communicating, right? Communication, in my opinion, is one of the hardest things to do because you can say something and say what you want, but it comes out completely different than what you said. But then the other person on the receiving end of that takes it and interprets even that into a completely different thing. And of course, with a tattoo, a mistake is a lot more permanent. So if you're not very clear on what you want, then I would obviously see that you wouldn't get it. Because some of these tattoos that were covered up weren't covered up with the same thing. They were covered up with a completely different thing. So for example, JK had a red eye tattoo. That was later covered up with text. So you're telling me that JK told the original tattoo artist that he wanted text and that tattoo artist gave him an eye? No, like obviously JK said that he wanted an eye and then got an eye. But then JK maybe didn't like the eye as much as he thought and realized that later, which is why he covered it. So that's not really the fault of the original tattoo artist. So I just don't like it when people bash each other or attack someone. So I just wanted to clarify that and say that it needs to stop. And while all of this is happening, people believe that they saw Jimin and JK at the airport literally yesterday or so. The boys have been out of the military for a little while now, like definitely almost a week now. So they are not coming from the military, which is why they're at the airport, right? So a lot of people are speculating why they could be at the airport and where they're going and if this means music or activities that might be happening. People were even more curious to see both Jimin and JK going together at the airport, and there were a lot of photos online that surfaced of this. Now, a lot of people are calling this stalker behavior or whatever. I don't fully know if that is true or not. There have been a lot of videos that have come out, but I'm not sure if any of the videos or clips that are from official news sites or if it's real news sites, because if it's real news sites, then that means the label tipped them off and they were supposed to be there. But regardless, it's clear that they were likely at the airport and people were wondering why. Some people are using the fact that JK and Jimin are at the airport to mean that they are in a relationship together or that they're doing something romantic, with many even saying that this then proves that they are in a relationship, that they're likely doing something romantic later, kissing at the lounge, doing whatever. And this, of course, doesn't make any sense because obviously they're now likely closer than ever because they just experienced the trauma of the military together. It changes their dynamic. Now they're experiencing life a little bit differently coming out of the military, and traveling and all that stuff is probably going to feel a little bit different between them and in the best possible way, which is why I could imagine that they would even want to do that. But we also have no idea if this was planned and the label had something in mind for them. Since them leaving the military, it would be really obvious to the label that a lot of press is coming out about the two of them together and just the two of them being seen together. So then it makes a lot of sense for the label to say, well, why not have them go to the airport together and let people speculate, and not necessarily speculate bad things, but just speculate what's going to happen next. Are they making music together? Is this a subunit? You know, whatever. So now I don't know that they're doing anything romantic or anything like that, but I am definitely really excited to see what comes of this and all of that jazz. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.